Good morning to all. I will start the session. Okay. Before going to the today's session, what we had discussed in the last session, again rewind in the 5 minutes. The topics are identifier, keyword, and then variable. Anyway, installation is okay. Now these are the main basic topics that we had discussed. What is an identifier? Identifier is simply a name that is given to any programming component. What is mean by programming component? Simply a variable or a method, etc. etc. We are using many things in your program. For anyone, we are given some name. So for giving the name, we need to follow some rules. All those rules are specified by identifier. Now, what is keyword? Keyword means reserved word. That means the words which have some specific meaning. So this is the word which is used for this purpose only. Other than the purpose, nothing is allowed. Now, like finally, we discussed the concept of variable. Here I will revise the variable one more time. What is a variable? Variable is an identifier. Meaning is the rules of the identifier are followed by variable. So variable is an identifier which is used to hold some value. Variable is an identifier used to hold some value. Okay. Now, A is equal to 3. In this example, A is called a variable and which holds a value 3. Remember, whenever this statement is completed, internally what happened, some memory is created in your system, some memory is created with some address, and that memory who refers, the memory is referred by a, within that particular memory location the value 3 is stored. This is the variable. Whenever we are, this is called initialization. Initialization means assigning value. Whenever you assigned some value, some memory is created. Within that address, the value, the value we assigned, that is stored. Now, if I return b is equal to some 4.5. Anyway, what, sir, I written 3, one time I written 4.5. That is our today topic. I will explain. So here, some address is created. Assume address is equal to 2000. B, which consists of a value 4.5. Okay, like this. Now, by using this one, you understand one thing. Generally, one variable can hold only single value. Even though multiple possible, that is not our scenario. Right now, your concept is one variable hold multiple values. Okay, fine. Now, if more than one variable have the same value, then I written like this. A is equal to, B is equal to, C is equal to 5. That means here I have three variables A, B, C. Suppose if three variables wants the same value, instead of writing like this, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 5, C is equal to 5. Instead of writing in multiple statements, you can write in a single statement. Now internally what happened? 5 is assigned to C. The value of C, that is 5, is assigned to B. The value of B, that is 5, is assigned to A. So it is clear. I think everyone understand this one. In Python, we have an additional property. The property is A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, C is equal to 4. For example, I have three variables. All the three variables consists of different values. I request all. participants, please mute. If you have any doubt, you can unmute. One second, I will mute all the persons. Mute everybody. Okay. If you want, you can unmute. Okay. Now, here I have three variables A, B, C. The values are 2, 3, 4. So, three variables both have different values. Python have an advantage of assigning different values to different variables in a single line. It is possible A comma B comma C is equal to 2 comma 3 comma 4 like this. Now obviously you understand the first value is assigned to first variable, second one is assigned to second variable, third one is assigned to third variable. Now A value is 2, B value 3, C value 4. Clear. For example, if you write like this, A comma B is equal to 2, 3, 4, it gives an error. Why? Left to side I have two variables, but I assigned three values. Too many values. I need only two. It is an error. And A comma B comma C is equal to 2 comma 3. It is an also error. Why? Insufficient values. I need three variables. Sorry, I need three values, but here I provided only two. Think you got it? At the time of assignment, check the number of variables and the number of values must be matched. And finally, I explained one function. The function is id of. id is the function which is used to get the address, which is used to get the address of a variable. For example, id of a. Now what it returns? It returns the address in the memory location where your variable a is stored. Where your variable a is stored. Okay. Now this is the topic we discussed in the last session. We can extend the variable topic also. No problem. I will extend. But right now you know basic of variable. Okay. Later I will extend the topic. Now next immediately I am moving to the topic of data type. Once you know the two topics of variable and data type, then it is very easy to move on to the program. Data type. So data means some information, type means type of the data. Simple sense. Now what is the definition? The data type specify the type of data stored in a variable. Now variable holds some values. What is the data type? The data type specifies the type of data stored in a variable. The data types are categorized into two types. That is, data types is organized into two types. One is primitive data type. Second one is non-primitive data type. Primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Primitive means basic. Primitive means basic data type. Basic in the sense compulsory data types. Okay. Even I mute. Then mute. Okay, so primitive data type, non-primitive data type. Primitive in the sense basic data type. Basic in the sense the compulsory data type. Generally, these primitive data types hold value. Primitive data types hold values. Non-primitive data types hold object references. Right now, you don't know the term object references, yes or no? Whenever we are moving to the concept of class and object, then you will understand. Anyway, right now I will explain. And coming to first one, the primitive data type. These primitive data types is categorized into mainly two types again. One is numbers. Second one is Boolean. The primitive data types, that is, understand, we have data type specifies the type of data that is stored in a variable. So such data is categorized into two types. One is numbers and Boolean. Now coming to numbers, three types of numbers. One is integer number, second one is floating, and third one is complex. Now go to your mathematics. In your mathematics, you have different types of numbers. Suppose 2, 3, 4. Generally, all those are called whole numbers. Yes or no? All those are called whole numbers. Generally, in your mathematics, whole numbers, technically, those are called integers. Now, both are same. Whole numbers are called integers. Clear? Now, what is another number? 2.3, 5.4, 6.7. Generally, those are called real numbers. Clear? Now, that real numbers are called floating point numbers. And you have some numbers a plus bj, suppose 2 plus 3j, etc. Those are called complex numbers. Here also the name is complex. Now clear the point. Numbers in the sense integer, floating and complex. Integer, floating and complex. Three different types of numbers. Okay. Now Boolean. Boolean in the sense it has two values, either true or false. Two values, true or false. Suppose if I checked one condition, A greater than B. What is your answer? Your answer is yes or no. If I am checking, comparing two persons, suppose the first person is other than the second person. What is your answer? Yes or no. So in such type of cases, we are using Boolean data type. We are using Boolean data type. Okay. Now, first coming to the first one. The first one is integer. Now, integer is used to store whole numbers. Integer is used to store whole numbers. Clear? Whole numbers. There, whole numbers are generally, I will explain in detail. So, move to in detail. Integer. Simply whole numbers. Now we are using some different formats. The different bases are decimal numbers, binary numbers, octal numbers, and then hexadecimal numbers. These are different representations, that is, different ways of representing a whole number. You need to know all the different ways. So, if I given the just a whole number means that is okay, fine. But here you need to know internally you can use any one of the way for representing a whole number. First of all, what is mean by decimal number? The number with base DEC means deck with base 10. Simply You can form any number with a combination of digits 0 to 9. Base 10 in the sense from 0 to 9. So any number, you can form any number with base 0 to 9, that is called decimal number. Now, binary. Binary in the sense base 2. Any number that is formed with a combination of 0 and 1, that is called binary number. Octal. Octal means base 8. So base 8 in the sense, there are two cases. Base 8 in the sense, 8 possible values. If starting from 0, 8 possible values are 0 to 7. This is one scenario. Or if you divide any number with 10, suppose coming to decimal number 10, divide any number with 10. The possible reminders are from 0 to 9 only. If you divide any number with 8, 0 to 7 only. Now hexa decimal. Hex means 6, decimal means 10. No? Simply this is base 16, 0 to 15. Now, just to one point. So, different representations. These are the different ways for representing a whole number in your program. In your program. Now, I will write down some examples. See this one. A is equal to 54. See this one here. What is the meaning? Any number means not 0 to 9. In the number, any digit is between 0 to 9, between 0, 1, 0 to 7, 0 to 5, 15. Now my question is, I am reading one variable a is equal to 54. Now is the 54 is which type of number? Anyone? 54 is decimal or binary or octal or hexadecimal? Anyone? Whether it is right or wrong, give the answer. You can ping the message or unmute, whatever it is. 54 is which type of number? Decimal. Okay. Why it is not? Again, one person give the answer as a decimal. Immediately my question is, why it is not octal? The digit 5 is in the range 0 to 7. The digit 4 is in the range 0 to 7. It is hexadecimal also, there is a possibility. I think you got my point. But the anyway decimal is right. But why it is not octal and why it is not hexadecimal? For that I will explain. See this one. So 5 is in the range 0 to 7, 4 is in the range 0 to 7. So this is a possibility of octal also. But remember, by default, by default, every number is considered as a decimal number. Every number such that the digits are between 0 to 9. Actually, after 9, there is no digit. So, every number with the combination of digits 0 to 9, those are called decimal numbers. Any number that is combination with zeros and ones, that is called binary number. Suppose I given b is equal to 10. If this is a binary, no, this is a number 10. How can you make this number as a binary? Before the number, prefix with 0b. Remember, before a number, if you prefix with 0b, then this becomes the binary number. Before a number, for example, 54, if you prefixed with 0, then this is called octal number. Before a number, if you prefixed with 0x, then this is called hexadecimal number. I think you got it. So there is a difference between decimal, binary, octal, hexadecimal. By default, every number is a decimal number. If you prefix with 0b, then this is called binary. If you prefix with 0o, by octal, 0x hexadecimal number. Now, simply, actually the digits are from 0 to 9 only. But if I want to represent 10, System takes as this is 0, this is 1 again. For example, I will show you A is equal to some 0B 1101. Now what is this one? A is a binary number. Okay, whenever you are performing some calculations, generally the binary is also converted into decimal. How to convert this binary in the terms of decimal? Internally this is happened, you no need to do anything. Why? By default every number is a decimal. So here this is base 2. I think you know that one, 354. How can you say that this number is 354? This is unit place. 4 into 10 power 0, 5 into 10 power 1, 3 into 10 square. In our childhood in mathematics we learn that one. So 3 into 10 square plus 5 into 10 power 1 plus 4 into 10 power 0. Now by combining this is 354. Why power 10? This is the decimal number into 10. Now obviously this is the binary number 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 square, 2 cube. Now what is the answer? 2 cube 8 plus 1 into 2 square 4 plus 0 into 0 plus 1 into 2 power 0 means 1. Now the answer is 13. Now you got it? Even though you are given the decimal binary number, it is decimal. Now understand, if my value is 0054, which is in octal representation, but every calculation is done in the decimal only. Internally, this is converted into decimal. How? Octal representation means base 8, 8 power 0, 8 power 1, 5 into 8 power 1 plus 4 into 8 power 0, 5 8 jar 40 plus 4 into 1 4. Remember, so if this is an octal number, this is my decimal number. Now calculation is performed on 54 or 44. Whatever the calculation, that is done on the number 44. I think you are clear. Now my final point is, now move to this one. Finally, I given one number A is equal to, each and every number is from 0 to 15. For example, assume my number is 0 x, for example 2 1 0 3 4. This is my number. Remember, internally my intention is, this is 16 power 0, this is 16 power 1. This entire thing is one number. Yes or no? My intention is this entire number is 1, but system takes this one? No. How system takes 16 power 0, 16 power 1, 16 square, 16 cube, 16 power 4. You got my point?
Sorry,
So,
how we will know this is a hexadecimal number?
how will know means I already said the thing. Simply follow carefully. If any number prefixed with 0x, that is called
Okay,
hexadecimal number. Okay.
okay, okay. I
Now,
didn't heard it. Sorry.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
no problem. But to continue, if anything, if any, at any point, if you miss the session, means the complete session is lost generally. Okay. Now assume if my remainder is 10, assume 10 is my number, like a 5, like 4. Here you can get the number from 0 to 15. Among 0 to 15, 10 is also one number. That is, in hexadecimal, 10 is a single number. But at the time of conversion, it takes 0 as 16 square, 1 is 16 cube, 2 is 16 power 4. Why? You know that is 10 is a single number, but at the time of conversion, it takes digit by digit. Why? we have only the digits 0 to 9. Not only C, not only Java, in any mathematics, we have the digits from 0 to 9 only. That is the reason how the hexadecimal numbers are divided 0 to 15. If you have any number 0 to 9, blindly write 0 to 9. If you want to represent 10, instead of writing 10, write A. 11 is represented as B. 12 is represented as C. 13 is D. 14 is E. 15 is F. Suppose same example, see this one, 0x 2. Here I need 10. But instead of 10, I written A, 3, 4. Now there is no problem. 4 into 16 power 0 plus 3 into 16 power 1 plus A into 16 square. Internally, A value is 10 plus 2 into 16 cube. That is the point. Single digit means not a problem. If, for example, any 10, 11, 12, 13 means system takes that one as a single digit. But my intention is that is a single number. That is the reason 10 to 15 the numbers are represented from A to F. These are called hexadecimal numbers. Hexadecimal numbers. Finally, integer. Integer means whole numbers. The whole numbers are represented in different ways. Either decimal number, binary number, octal number, and hexadecimal number. Right now, I will give you one more function. The name of the function is type. Type of A. Now it specifies what type of data that is stored in the variable. So if it is an integer, the output is class int. Remember, integer is just for your understanding. The original data type name is int only. Suppose in place of floating, the data type name is float only. These are the data types into float. Now I will move with an example. In the ideally, go with example. A is equal to sum 3. A is an integer. Immediately I will check type of A. See this one, type of a class integer. That is, it stores a whole number. Now, b is equal to 0b 1101. What is the answer? So, even if you are typing B, it does not print the binary. Remember, the output is always in decimal. So, internally that binary is converted into decimal and print the decimal value. Suppose C is equal to 0054. Now see the answer. The answer is 44 means I already explained this is the octal, but by the execution octal is converted into decimal. Finally, some d is equal to 0x some 54. What is the answer? 4 into 16 power 0 plus 5 into 16 power 1. So 5 into 16 power 1, 80 plus 4, that is 84. Okay, whatever the number you are given, that number is converted into decimal only. Why? Because at the time of language development they take a decimal as a default. Okay, clear. Finally, I will give you three functions: bin, binu, hex, oct. These are the three functions. The purpose is bin of to convert any base, to convert any base into binary. See this example. Here by default, without using any function, binary is converted into decimal, octal is converted into decimal, even hexadecimal is also converted into decimal. By default, any base is converted into decimal. What about the reverse? Reverse in the sense, suppose I given one decimal number to you. You need to convert into binary, or decimal number is converted into octal, or decimal number is converted hexa. You got my point? Or not only decimal, not only decimal, you can convert any base. Any base in the sense, if I given one hexadecimal, the hexadecimal is converted into binary. Octal is converted into binary. Reverse case. Simply here also. Any base is converted into hexadecimal. Any base is converted into octal. Now move to the example. One second. Okay. So I'm not speaking to anything. Voice is not coming means okay, no problem. I given the break. Now go to this example. Convert this any number into binary. Bin of C. Actually, C is an octal number. For example, first to convert A. A is a decimal number. Bin of A. See this one converted into binary. Bin of B. Actually, B is a binary number. C, octal number. See this one? An octal is converted into binary. An octal is converted into binary. Bin of D. An hexadecimal is converted into binary. An hexadecimal is converted into binary. I think you clear the point. In the similar fashion, you can apply any oct of B. Binary is converted into octal. See this one 0. Now oct of D hexadecimal is converted into octal. Now similarly hex of B binary is converted into hexadecimal. Hex of C octal is converted into hexadecimal. Simple thing. You can give any base if your function is oct, that is converted into octal. That is converted into octal. This is that integer whole numbers. Remember, depending upon the situation, the suppose if you are writing a program that relates to binary numbers. Suppose I am designing some mission. For example, there you are performing some complement operations. So the binary is preferable. So depending upon the application, we are selecting the type. But remember, 99% by default, we are using decimal number only. Okay. Now the next one is floating. Floating in the sense any number with some decimal point like 2.3, 4.36. A number with some decimal points is called floating. For example, some f is equal to 2.3. Now, what is the type of f? Floating is just for your understanding. That data type name is float, float only. Okay, any number with some points is called floating or real values. Okay, that's all completed. Floating means there is no variations. Next one is complex. Any number is of the form a plus bj fixed. Even letter j is also fixed. It is not possible to change. I think in your mathematics we are learning like this a plus ib. But remember in Python the complex number is the fixed format. A number is of the form a plus bj. Number is of the form a plus bj, that is called complex number. I think you know this one. In this, A is called real part. What about B? B is called imaginary part. B is called imaginary part. Now, first I will create, where is this one? Here. A is equal to some 2 plus 3j. A is equal to some 2 plus 3j. Now observe one thing. Here 2 comma 3 are, whether 2 is real part 2, 3 is imaginary part 2. Generally 2, 3 are integers. But I print A, what is a integer? But observe, I will explain one more. Type of A, so that is by default complex. Now 2 and 3 are integers. Clear? I given one more complex number. Suppose 2.3 plus 3.4j. Now here the real part and imaginary part both are floating. No problem. See this one. Clear? That means both are integers, not a problem. Both are floating, not a problem. Suppose 2 plus 3.4j. This is also not a problem. Integer floating. Suppose 2.3 plus 4j. This is also not a problem. I think you observe real part and imaginary part. You can take any data type. Both are integers, both are floats. You can take any data type. But one important thing you need to remember at the time of defining the complex number, if both are floating in the sense, not a problem. Assume A is the real. If A is an integer, if both are A and B are floating means that is not a problem for me. If A is an integer, how can we represent integer? Either decimal or binary or octal or hexadecimal. You can represent in any way, no problem. So see the example. A is equal to 0B110 plus 3j. Any problem? Here I am representing my in real part with a binary. Not a problem. See this one. Automatically, what is the binary? 1106. Automatically 6 plus 3j. At any point, if you given any base, system takes as the decimal. Fine. But what is the problem? Real part, only decimal is allowed. Clear the point? In the imaginary part. In the real part, if you are using integer, you can take decimal, binary, octal or hexadecimal. You can take any base, but coming to imaginary, only decimal is allowed. Only decimal is allowed. Suppose I will show you A is equal to some 2 plus 0B111j. See this one? Now it gives an error. See, invalid binary literal. If you want to use float, you can use float. If you want to use integer, only decimal representation is allowed. Okay. Now, finally, for example, I have one complex number C. So if you given the variable, what we are getting? We are getting the entire number. Yes or no? We are getting the entire number. Sir, I doesn't want the entire number. I want only real part. Yes. C dot REAL. Now you will get only the real number. Press enter by default. Now observe, even though you are getting given integer, system converts that into float. Here everything is predefined. System converts into float. I want imaginary part. C dot imag. Remember the words. C dot imag. Imag gives the imaginary part 3.4. Okay, clear? Now these are the data types numbers. Data type numbers. What we discussed under numbers? Integer, floating, complex. What is the next one? The next one is Boolean data type. The output is true or false. So actually these true or false are two keywords. Actually this true and false are also two keywords. Remember, T is uppercase letter, F is uppercase letter, that is fixed. If you are changing, suppose if I am changing true, this is not the keyword. This is considered as a variable. Okay, anyway, first to see this one. A is equal to sum 5, B is equal to sum 4, A greater than B. What is the answer? Either true or false. See this one? True. T is capital letter, uppercase. Suppose A less than B. What is output? False. Now create one variable true. See this one, observe the color change. This is a keyword. Type of A. Type of A is Boolean. That means BOOL only. BOOL only. Boolean. Okay. Now I will give you right now. You are getting one error. The most important thing is you need to identify the error. Error identification plays very crucial role. Just now you are getting one error. What is that one? Syntax error. Syntax error means always remember, if every programming language have some rules, if you violate the rules, it gives the syntax error. If you are violating the rules of the programming language, it gives error. That is called syntax error. Up to now, we are getting only syntax error right now. K. Here I am trying to print the value of k. But observe, from today, from the whenever I open the shell, from this position onwards up to now, I am not using the value k. Yes or no? Up to now, I am not using the variable k, but I want to print the value. But I would like to print the value. Is it possible? The variable k is not existed. Yes or no? What is the error? Remember, the error name is name error. Name error means the name k is not defined. See this one? Name error means name k is not defined. That means system takes k as a variable. K as a variable. Up to now, we are not define k. That means k does not consist of any value. If you use it at least one time, then you can write. Suppose without using, how can you print the value? Like this. See this one? True. Suppose A is equal to true. What is the error here? Here error is true is, for example, I have some variable A is available, or A is equal to 3, B is equal to 4. Now A is equal to B. Happened? Yes. The value of B is assigned to A. Now A value also becomes 4. B is equal to 4. I think you understand. The right side value is assigned to left side. Suppose if I write in the statement like this, A is equal to true. System takes this one as true is a variable. Understand carefully. True is a variable. This variable is assigned to A. But up to now, the true variable is existed? No. See this one? Observe the same error. Name k is not defined. That means k is considered as a variable. Up to now we are not defined the k. Similarly, name error, name true is not defined. Think you understand the point? So what you need to use? Capital. That is the very important. You need to use Uppercase letters. Uppercase letters. These are the primitive data types. These are the primitive data types. Think everyone clear. Basic data types. Now coming to non-primitive data types. What are the different non-primitive data types? Strings, not S, string, list, tuple, dictionary, set. These five are the non-primitive data types. Remember, right now, the today session and the tomorrow session, half of the tomorrow session, I will give you a brief introduction of all these data types, not in detail, just to a brief introduction of all these details. After that, I will move in depth. In depth in the sense, simply so what are the different methods that are available in the string? What are the different operations that are performed on the string? But right now, each and everything is considered as a separate chapter. Suppose if you go through your syllabus, each and everything is a separate chapter. So 50% of Python program depends on these five. General scenario. If you know these five topics, you are in a position to crack any interview also. That much important. But if you want to explain, suppose do some operation on the list or a string, you need to know the concept of operator, you need to know the concept of decision making statements, looping, some basics are required. Once you understand the basics, then only we can move internally. But to explain the basics, again the definitions are required. That is the reason, even though there is a time waste, no problem. In one session, I will give you the complete idea. Anyway, almost completed 10 minutes. In the next session, I will give the complete idea. Complete in the sense, what is a string, how to create a string. What is a list, how to create. What is how. What is. Just definition and creation. That means you are getting one basic idea. Okay. Everyone follow the next session. Why? The next session plays very crucial role. Okay. So 10 minutes is there. I will move to one basic topic. The topic is comments. Comments. What is mean by comment? For example, I written some program. See this one. Okay. File. New file. Here I am writing some program. A is equal to 3. B is equal to 4. C is equal to A plus B. E is equal to A plus B. Print C. So like this, not this program, like this you had written one program. For example, after 10 days you open the program. Now what the program do? What the program do? I written, for example, daily I will practice 5 to 10 programs. After 10 days, I opened one program. Now within this program, so what is the purpose of this program? That is, what is the output of this program? Generally, we have different questions. How we identify? Simply go on to the program line by line. Okay, by observing line by line, this is the program to perform addition of two numbers. But it is wastage of time or not? That is one scenario. Suppose, what is the purpose of this line? Or what is the purpose of this line? What are the purpose of these lines? That means comments. Comments are simply the statements that are written for user understanding. The statements that are written for user understanding, and the comments are not executable. I think you got my point. Within a program, you will write the comments. The comments are just for understanding of the user. So for the purpose of this program, suppose this is the program I created. So Mr. Nagaraju created the program on this particular date and the particular time. The purpose of this line, each and every information, whatever the information you want, you can write all the information in terms of comments. But remember, the comments are not executable. Not executable in the sense, system does not consider that particular comment. Then how? you need to use some symbols. We have two types of comments. One is single line comment. Second one is multi-line comment. What is mean by single line? You can write the comment in the single line only. After single line, if you are written anything, that gives an error. Multi-line comment in the sense the name specify you can written the comment in multiple lines. I will show you. Single line means the symbol is hash. What is the meaning? Any statement that is followed by hash is considered as a comment. Any statement that is followed by hash is considered as a comment. Now save this program. For example, add is my program. Now run this program. See this one, we are getting the output, there is no problem. Now I will update the concept of comments. At the start of the program, I written a comment hash. Compulsory you need to write hash. After hash, whatever the statement you written, that is not executed. So addition of two numbers. Now I think whenever you open the program, by seeing the first line only, okay, this is the program to perform addition of two numbers. Easy understand. Clear the point? This is comment. Single line. For example, here, if you want comment, you can write like this one. Used to print the value. Suppose right now I don't know what is the purpose of print. So in the future, if you want, you can use this one. Used to print the value. For example, here you are writing comment. This statement is also not executed. Yes or no? Whether it is a statement or theoretical matter, whatever it is, that the system does not consider anything. Before anything, if you are writing hash means from hash to end of the line, everything is not considered. Save and execute. See this one, you are getting the output. There is no problem. But addition of two numbers done by, I written some message done by Razu. See this one, observe the color change. System takes as the error. Execute. See this one, invalid syntax. Why? Only single line. Sir, I want another line. Use another line. Observe the color changes. So each and every line that is prefixed with hash, system consider as a comment. Only one line after hash. For example, if you are using hash here, this entire thing is considered comment. C is not printed. Check. Observe the output. We are not getting any output. See why? The print is not executed. Clear the point? Print is not executed. If print is not executed means we are not getting the output. That is comment. Finally, multi-line means we can write the comment in more than one line. We can write the comment in more than one line like this, but where we are placing in triple quotations. In triple quotations, we can place the comments. Suppose, see this one. Right now, I have two lines. I written like this. One, two, three. Triple quotation. Observe the change of the color. Press enter. You can type any message. One, two, three. Now this entire thing is considered as a comment. I think clear the point. Multiple number of statements that are written inside the triple quotations. It is multi-line comment. Hash symbol means single line comment. Triple quotations in the sense these are triple single quotations. If you want, you can one double quotation, double quotation, double quotations. If you open double, close also double. That means you understand in your keyboard you have only single quotations and double quotations. How triple quotations? Triple quotations in the sense triple single quotations or triple double quotations. Clear? These are comments. Okay. Now today's session we discussed the primitive data types along with the comment. In the next session we will move to a brief discussion on the non-primitive data types. That means string, list, tuple, dictionary, set. Clear? So this is my topic. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.